Flames are running high as we get into this first map, and there is no waiting around. This pistol round is underway, and Fnatic over on the T side. Mousesports CT half to begin Inferno to kickstart this grand final. One more time, Denmark, make some noise!
Let's get into this one, Harry. Fnatic, they have been stellar on these T sides. They're going straight up B on this pistol round. Mousesports, early rotations coming through. Chris is sitting in the spawn. That's going to allow him to come back towards B sooner rather than later. Fnatic not wanting to give away the fact that they have 5 players sitting in this spot, ready up with the smokes. Utility going in now. Karrigan seeing it. He's combing it. The rotation should be coming through for Mousesports. He has a flash ready to set his teammate up at the back of the site. That's Frozen. Waiting in the wings. Fnatic really taking their time with this one. Finally, the molly's coming down, and in they go.
Yeah, Frozen's been forced out. He's been backed into this corner and bested almost immediately inside of the B-bomb site. Mousesports immediately throwing into what is feeling like this 3-on-5 retake to kickstart Inferno. Woxic looked so good the other day and so good now as he doubles up, but this has left Rops all alone. 1v3 Fnatic, they've got the bomb down, and Golden is not missing a beat. Pistol round goes the way of the Swedes. But as we've seen in the Pro League thus far, as we've seen time and time again, these pistol rounds are not guaranteed good starts. We have that 4-spy already coming back in from Mousesports, and they're looking to continue the trend that we've seen all season long of these 4 spies in the second round finding success.
Yeah, no one wants to give away those early rounds for free. Even yesterday in that BO3 versus Astralis, Mousesports were keen to force up round after round on that CT side, T side rather, after getting bomb plants and finding damage. Well, this one's no exception. Woxic's on that scout. He's going to get away from middle in just a nick of time. Brolin was on the hunt. Missing his opportunity, though. His prey is backed up into this A site. Mousesport's going to throw an early rotation towards B. It's a bit of a go-to for Fnatic, a bit of a classic. They love this B-bomb site. Golden's waiting for a pick to come his way. Mousesport's not giving any inkling, though. Woxic might go back in for a peek. Does he realize that a man has crossed? It doesn't matter. Another tag from this scout. Fnatic starting to get whittled away at on this anti-eco. The slower you play it, the more dangerous his scout can be, as Woxic is once again given an opportunity to rotate back, go towards this A site. That's where the majority of Fnatic players are sitting right now, and taking control towards middle. Mousesport's hiding with 3 players passive.
Yeah, they're just waiting. I mean, you know Karrigan, he literally said so himself. He went away, he went back to the lobby last night and did all this homework on Fnatic. You know they're well researched. They're ready for this slow play style, but it's actually going to be Fnatic to open this round up with a kill onto Chris J. Now, man advantage going their way. A lot of that pressure that the scout has put on alleviated as they find themselves in this 5-on-4. Crims leaving top mid, but the bomb is there. He's trying to sell this B fake. There's only one player here right now for Mousesports, and JW is going to beat Woxic in the head-to-head. Rops is trying to come alive down in the pit. Oh my goodness, how has this happened? In the blink of an eye, it's only Crims left. The Deagles might just do it again. There's only 7 seconds. Crims, this is too much to ask. And with Deagles, nothing more. Mousesports are going to get that first round on the board.
Such a heads-up gamble rotation from Mousesports as well, right? Woxic not only moving back and forth between the sites, but Frozen, he'd even been repositioned back towards A. While Crims is throwing that B fake, Karrigan calls for Mousesports to heavy stack on that A site, and the Deagle crossfire finds everything here for Mousesports. These slow T-side rounds coming back to hurt Fnatic, as Crims isn't even given the opportunity to clutch. He had just 10 seconds coming back up into that A site. Simply just not enough. And Fnatic, they want more. They're going to buy back into this 3rd round. Pistols and armor, but this one is definitely not as favored as Mousesports Force. This should be the chance for Mousesports to really start to build in this first half.
Yeah, there's such a good chance for it. There's such a good chance for Mouse to find themselves in pole position, unless these pistols can have the same success for Fnatic. Golden looking to be that first man in over the top mid. Has teammates alongside him, Brolin and JW, lining up some utility here. It's actually going to be Brolin taking this initial speak. They've spotted Chris J, but it's Woxic hidden underneath that maybe they should be worried about. He's lit them up, and these pistols are not getting anything done for Fnatic. Woxic kicks them out the server. Mousesports, they're going to get off to the 2-1 start, and they barely break a sweat up against the force buy from the Swedes. And now a grim return to reality for Fnatic. They've just got to take an eco in this round. And this should be Mousesports, in spite of not getting that pistol under their belt, getting off to that 3-1 start here on Inferno.
And Woxic, I mean, you love to see it, but he's already gone for the AWP, Harry, an ace in the 3rd round of this best-of-5 grand final. And Mousesports, they have not had enough. They want more. Down middle they go. These SMGs move towards the ramp. Chris J is spotting, but Fnatic don't realize that Karrigan has already crossed past his position. Coming out from under. Could be dangerous. Chris J taking first blood. One by one, Fnatic start to fall in this round. It's only what you would expect with the pistols. The Mousesports certainly don't make it easy for these Swedes. Karrigan pushing through towards a spawn, out of ammo, but bailed out by his team. And that's a nice flawless round just to get the confidence flowing.
Yeah, but now, that little lull in the action from Fnatic, that just handing around over comes to an end, and they have this first buy. I think when you look at this team, and these two teams rather, you really got to look at the IGLs behind them, right? On one side, Karrigan, this seasoned, grizzled veteran of the Danish Counter-Strike scene at the helm of Mousesports. And on the other side, it is just as bright, a beautiful mind, but from a different generation of Counter-Strike in the form of Golden. And he's been very good at putting up these numbers, but in this round, it's actually Karrigan, the other man with the big brain, rushing down Banana to open things up. Rops has even dealt with this A-side split, and everything's coming up in favor of Mousesports. Finally, they managed to deal with Woxic, and he was, for all intents and purposes, the only player defending this A-bomb site. That smoke has locked the rest of the gang off for Mouse. I'll take the 4-on-2 retake, though. They're very heavily favored, but it's Brolin and Golden left on the other side. You do not want to let these two start to get comfortable, start to find their footing. The utility is doing a great job of harassing Golden inside of this site, but Brolin down in the pit, all dealt with by Frozen, and now down to the 1v1, and Golden holds the line. The two of them from a 2 versus 4 all the way down to a round for Fnatic. And already this game is living up to the hype as these rounds are getting traded back and forth early on.
Fnatic have been so good in this tournament with those man disadvantage situations, especially on the T side. Whenever we see Brolin alive in them, you can't help but think Fnatic have a chance. Fnatic, at least in this tournament, they've converted 42% of T-side rounds with the man disadvantage, at least 4 on 5 early. So the fact that they win that 2 on 5 is ridiculous. 2-3 now. Mousesports still coming back in with guns. Woxic enabled on that AWP once again, but Fnatic are moving fast up Banana. Oh dear, it's getting hot for Flusher. Smoke on the logs. Chris J trying to force fights in the apartments, but that's where Brolin comes out on top, and that will be a gun gifted over as well. This is still a bit of a low buy for Fnatic, despite winning that previous round. It did come down to the 1v1, so no money really saved. Brolin hopefully will be able to upgrade, though.
With Rops boosted up there on top of the balcony, he would have heard that tag onto Brolin, so he knows he's still around, still lurking up in the apartments. And this is going to keep Mousesports with 2 players toward this side of the map. They actually flash Frozen in to try and clear top Banana. Maybe even looking to set Woxic up here with the AWP, and indeed they will. Now going to rotate an extra man toward this A side of the map. Woxic left to hold Banana solo, and that might be the right decision here for Mousesports. Fnatic ganging up outside of A. For all they know, they might be about to walk into this stack. Molotov goes in. Now the push to follow on the back of it. Flash gets Karrigan off of the angle. They still leave Flusher down at the bottom of Banana. There's still time for Fnatic to change their minds here. And now with Crims getting found, that looks to be the decision from the Swedes. They back away, they give up top mid. They try and rejoin Flusher, but he's already been picked up. 20 seconds, and Fnatic, they've got to go now, or they don't go at all.
20 seconds, Woxic's waiting, and they haven't got a Molotov for this position. Brolin, he's trying to go up, but he's not going to be able to spot him. Info gained, Woxic waiting, no bomb plant today. Mousesports going to lock in that 4th round. I love that rotation from Frozen as well, right? Mousesports constantly making these risks on the CT side and getting the reads right every single time, putting that solo up in Banana, and Woxic is able to hold his own. Especially important considering in that 2v5 that we just saw Fnatic won, a large reason that they picked it up was there was only actually 1 man inside of A. Mousesports was set up for a retake in a 4-on-2 that they couldn't close out. Well, in this case, Frozen, he comes in from Library, he actually commits to the Moto push and gets inside of the site to join his teammates. Mousesports send Fnatic back towards that B site, and now they've pushed them back down to an eco.
Yeah, Mousesports really are sat in pole position right now. There should be a 5th round for them. Oh, we've seen these pistol rounds get out of hand. There is just so little for Fnatic to work with. They're really relying on Mousesports making a mistake, catching someone out of position, and the flashbang allows Chris J to secure the opener. Things are going from bad to worse for Fnatic in this round. A bomb plant would be their dream at this point. Robs holding this crossfire still. It's Woxic on the other side, and as they go into mid, they are just feeding the beast that lies here.
I do like how Mousesports are trying to force gunfights. That's something you're going to see a lot from Fnatic CT side on this map, especially from the likes of Brolin, who just likes to peek down mid with that Krieg and find engagements. Mousesports have no fear in doing the same, and waiting in the wings is Rops. He has been a star all tournament long for Mousesports, and this round is no exception. 2 kills back in the apartments. Golden is coming his way. Timing just missed there. Golden with an opportunity, but there's a man in the hallway to spell disaster. That's Chris waiting. Oh, here comes Rops, and there it goes. Mousesports, another flawless round. These anti-ecos have been clean, they've been concise. And now Fnatic, they've got to come in back with a rightful round. Crims, notably, yet to frag on the T side of this server. He has been a record breaker for Fnatic, quite literally, in this tournament. That needs to change.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, even if you go back, even if you look at the results from Malmo, it was Crims over on this side of Fnatic who was one of the only players and the top-rated players for that tournament. He has been so key to this Fnatic squad. And so the fact that he's starting off a little slow could be a great sign for Mouse. Mouse are not starting slow, not in this round. They've pushed Rops down into the bottom of mid, but Brolin is one step ahead. Rops gets picked up, and finally Fnatic starting around with a man advantage. Chris J trying to respond with some apartments aggression, and Crims on the other side is just holding this. Fnatic, we've seen them do this time and time again. They get an opener, they go a man up, and then they just hold for almost a painful amount of time. 1 second in the server is like a century in real life, and Woxic now removed as well. Mousesports feeling the pressure. Still with 2 players over towards this B side of the map, and Fnatic now falling back. They just might brain themselves and walk into B, where the majority of these Mousesports players reside.
Yeah, so many of these rounds, Mousesports have been keen to leave Woxic alone on B or just rotate heavily off of that site. It's been the right call to make in every single time, and now Fnatic, they're expecting more of the same. It couldn't be further from the truth. Chris J's coming in on rotation. There's everyone here for Mousesports. They're still down in a 3-on-5, but this is their best opportunity of picking up the round. Smoke on the molly. Frozen gets one. The trade is in, though. Karrigan's been spotted, and the flash is good. Mousesports losing control of the site. Just Chris left up, and a smoke in his face. There's no way he can get back into this round, surely.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, we know Chris J can work miracles with this. Oh, but this time Flusher is not going to give him the room to do so. Fnatic, they might walk into the stacked bomb site. They might have so many players to go up against, but they don't break a sweat. In with their 3rd round. Still, plenty of cash to invest over on the Mousesports side. Tactical pause actually called in now for Mouse. They're going to try and take some time to figure out exactly what's going wrong heading into this next one. They know that they're running out of the money in terms of that little buffer that they once had.
If we're looking at individuals here as well, it's nice to see Brolin already having a strong performance. He's top of the entire team as well with 8 kills. Mousesports definitely need to be aware of these boiler plays from Brolin. We're going to see him a lot on this T side. Get into those apartments from the jump on Balk, and then try and find picks throughout boiler. Woxic got caught in that previous round while holding mid, and that can't afford to keep happening here for Mousesports. I imagine we'll see a more passive setup now for this CT side. Last round they pushed mid. It didn't work out too well. But the fact that they even go for it is audacious, and I love to see that from Mousesports. They clearly got a whole lot of confidence, and I mean, who wouldn't after beating Astralis yesterday?
Finally, we've got that AWP over in the hands of JW as well. We're going to get to that head-to-head. Woxic looking to toe the line here with a peek down through Banana. Has to be careful. They've heard the scope. They know he's here. Damage exchanged. And in the end, it's actually going to be Mousesports coming off slightly better in that engagement, finding the tag onto Golden, but not quite the kill. Fnatic, they're going to take that all day long. They know they're lucky to still be alive. Mouse just falling back passively into the B-bomb site. Fnatic once again establishing this default now across the map. They've got top banana. Now they look to try and secure top mid as well. And from there, they'll decide where it is this play wants to end up.
Once again, Karrigan with the early rotations here for Mousesports. He's moved back into the spawn. He can still cover long for information at the very least. Fnatic have 3 players out and about in middle. Mousesports again with his passive setup. Player in the pit, player on the site. Karrigan's moved back in to try and control this long position. Fnatic smoking deep. Isolating Karrigan in this corner. And they know it as well. Crim's being loud about it with a flash. It blinds both players. Karrigan can't get the kill. And Crim's in with a repeat. He finds his first. Fnatic with an opportunity to split into this B site. Do Mousesports realize that they no longer is open for the taking, and Frozen's going to start to watch that spawn. It's all down to Woxic on the site to hold off from this B push.
Yeah, that smoke has completely locked Frozen out from B. Woxic, all the pressure is on his shoulders. This man looked good under pressure before, but not when it's Flusher applying. It gets that kill, and now the B bomb site belongs to Fnatic. Frozen trying to stop them, but Brolin is not in the mood to slow down right now. Bomb planted, and the remaining 2 Mousesports players so far removed from this B bomb site. The only choice that they've got left is to hold on to these weapons.
I actually really like that call from Fnatic as well, right? They get that kill on Karrigan up long, and a lot of teams with 2 players out mid and the bomb and banana would have just split CT and gone for that back flank. Instead, Fnatic decide that, you know, the knowledge that they could be in CT is enough. Mousesports had to dedicate a player to watching for it. Frozen, as you said, was smoked out of the site, and then Fnatic just group 5 in banana. They know that they can trade effectively. Why risk losing 2 players in CT spawn when there could be anyone or anything around those corners? Fnatic playing things safe on this T side and getting back in the swing of things. 4 rounds now. Talk about that money, Harry. It's coming to a close for Mousesports. They got 1 more buy left.
Yeah, they're going to be able to bring some more fight into this next one. And this is where, you know, we just saw Crims get his first kill of the game just a moment ago. You're hoping he can start to resurge for Fnatic, and in this game can get even closer. We've all got the memories of Karrigan on Inferno from the major not too long ago. And we know how these games can sometimes fall apart. Molotov down through banana. Crims smoking that off, trying to take up a position here once again. Fnatic keeping it simple as they go for this top banana control. 2 players there, and this time a much more active stance from Mousesports in defending this early. Frozen going to flash himself in and actually try and take this peak. Now, Fnatic, they've done a good job of dodging this utility, and Mousesports maybe anticipating that they would have a bit more success from that. Sure, they burn out Crims, but it's still Fnatic in pole position now, set up outside of the B bomb site. Woxic ready with this flashbang. Chris J goes peeking in, a little bit ahead of it, and that's his demise. Woxic is still here. That flashbang is at least telegraphed that much to Fnatic. They know that another player resides towards this B side of the map. And so they'll just pump the brakes. They slow right down. They know all the pressure is on Mousesports' shoulders right now.
This is classic Fnatic. Exactly how they've been playing all tournament long, just slowing down in the mid rounds, knowing that Mousesports are going to be the ones sweating here. Do Mousesports go for a gamble? No. Just sticking 1 per site, but really just relying on their individuals to show up here. However, 2 of the stars for Mousesports standing tall, Rops and Woxic. Nothing seen over towards that B site. They're coming back towards A. Rops, great position. Do they check it? There are Molotovs here for Fnatic, but they might not be aware of the possibility. Brolin waiting in the wings, coming out of apartments. Now noise being made. Rops can call for the rotation. He needs 2 here at a bare minimum, and he can only get the first. Brolin trading immediately, and now Woxic on rotation. This orb is not going to be the weapon to have, but he goes right through the smoke, and Brolin from above shuts it down. Fnatic again coming out on top on this T side. 3 rounds in a row now, and Mousesports have been broken.
And I tell you what, considering that Brolin, you know, he's had his fair share of ups and downs throughout the playoffs thus far. It looked like maybe being on this big stage in front of so many people was perhaps getting to the young gun a little bit, but here in the finals, he is bringing the heat. 11-7, topping the charts for Fnatic, and that is set to continue here with no money left on the Mousesports side. Fnatic might be about to slingshot themselves into the lead if they're able to pick this up. But we've seen the problems that these Mousesports spies can present. Flusher looking for this entry. Carrigan lies in wait. Flash goes over. Carrigan's dodged it. Flusher knows he's there, however, and is already on the angle. Helped out now by Golden. And already this B bomb site belongs to Fnatic.
They don't want to run the gun, though. They don't know if Mousesports have a bit of a stack in that position. So they're just going to slow it down. And now they're starting to realize that Mouse still have apartment control. Rops gets a kill, but that gun drops off the balcony. Can't secure it. Fnatic holding onto middle. JW's waiting, scoped up with the AWP as the rest of Fnatic move towards Banana to clear out that empty B site. Chris is looking for this gun, and he will just find it. That's something here for Mousesports. Definitely worth saving that into the follow-up round rather than risk going for this 2-on-4 retake. It's looking like a bit of an impossibility here for Mousesports. Bomb getting planted for Fnatic.
Bomb has been planted.
And Rops is just going to play bodyguard.
Yeah, this is a real turnaround, and you're getting a little bit worried about this B bomb site now as well for Mousesports, right? This has been the kind of make or break for them thus far over on the CT side, and a lot of the time it's been the thing breaking them. Wouldn't surprise me if at some point we see them go to set Woxic up towards this side of the map again, but it's going to be a little while till he has that AWP back in play.
It's just hard as well. You know, Fnatic have done their homework, and they have such great banana control with the utility. They've really been cancelling out of Mousesports of these aggressive peaks, and if you don't win those fights early on, if you don't get those Molotovs down banana and maybe get a kill onto Fnatic with a grenade, you're going to have a really tough time peeking aggressively. Last time we saw Woxic do that, there were 3 players from Fnatic holding despite the Molotov, and they get away with both kills. So really is difficult, and Mousesports, you know, like I said, are going to need not only the AWP but the utility.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Chad Sponge Birchall. He's got something he wants to say about this.
Yeah, just jumping in here quick, guys. What I want to know is some of these aggressive moves that we've been seeing coming out from Mousesports. They've given up the opening kills in the last 4 rounds now. I think that they'll want to get their individuals activated. You can see here Rops dying in an aggressive push. That just means that Fnatic can drop back and play these mid rounds that we love to see them go for, where it's nice and slow. I think they might try and change this one up with a double AWP situation in the hands of Christian Woxic when they can afford it. But this half, it's getting ahead of them, boys.
Yeah, it really is, and we mentioned how, you know, it's going to be a little while till Mouse have these AWPs as an option here for their defense. JW, though, is not as restricted. He's had that for a little while, and it hasn't really had to come into play all too much for Fnatic, but in this round here and now, he's trying to take this mid-aggression. Mouse, this time, they do try and deal with this threat over towards B by grouping 3 players up over on this side of the map. This is the one round, however, where Fnatic have kind of got very lax towards this banana control, instead really focusing on taking the apartments away from the Mousesports side. They've disassembled that 3-man stack over towards B and gone back into the standard default, just 2-3 set up between either bomb site here. Top mid control taken for Fnatic, though, and this is a lot of free real estate for the Swedes to work with. If there's one man you do not want to give any room to, it's someone like Brolin. He's so good at finding these little gaps and exploiting them. Mousesports, they've really got to rely on these crossfires back in the bomb site. There's one between Woxic and Rops has done them well. They've trusted it in the past. But it might have to do more than ever. Flusher still selling this fake over towards the B side of the map. He's done a good job of keeping both of these players here. Fnatic now, as we approach the 30-second mark, they're going to have to start to make a move, and they hope to get into this A bomb site. The first kill found, and now the 4-on-4. Bomb spotted. Mousesports, they've got an idea as to what's going on. The shots just have to land, and they've got to follow through.
And they can't find the players. Hidden in the pit is Rops. Woxic going to get caught on the site. That's a big kill for JW. He gets tagged up, though. 15 seconds, and Brolin from above gets a crucial frag. Looking to follow up. Carrigan won't allow it, and he will stop JW in his tracks as well. Bomb planted in the meantime. The retake's on for Mousesports, but it's down to 1 man. Carrigan picked up in the open and frozen with no kit in a 1-on-2. Has to make the long rotation back towards this A site.
Yeah, this man making his debut on this team earlier this year. First we'd really seen from him at this level of competition, but this 1v2 is too much to ask of young Frozen. He just bows on out, gives Fnatic the respect. And this will be the 7th on the board now for the Swedes. Quite the turnaround. They've taken 4 rounds consecutively. Mousesports, that lead that they had is now a long, distant memory. This will be the 5th in a row for the Fnatic side. Mouse We know they've got the resilience. We know they've got that ability to get back into these games later on. Even thinking back to that Astralis matchup yesterday when they were 14-8 down on Dust 2. But you don't imagine it's going to be happening anytime soon, as this real problem now is one that many teams have found themselves in over on this CT side throughout the tournament, where you're in this awkward situation with the money. You're stuck cobbling together these buys that just don't quite work. And already in this round, Woxic is going to taste the full might of that AWP on JW. Banana control attempted from Fnatic, not much in the way for Mousesports. So the first kill comes in, it's Brolin to find it. He's been so heads up, so good in these opening duels. This round is no exception. He sniffed out the low HP Woxic, and has even spotted another man over towards Long.
That grenade, that just blew the gun away. Chris was trying to pick it up on Long, but now he hasn't got anything to play with, including a face. Brolin checking, and Fnatic have a 5-on-3. This is almost impossible for Mousesports. That's another bit of info. And Brolin takes away Karrigan. This guy is so heads up. He's so talented. Fnatic, 5-on-2. And Rops, he's waiting in the apartments. Frozen is a long way away. Likely going to be seeing him save this Krieg onto the next round as well, unless he starts to move proactively down Banana. He's taking a peek, he's taking a look, but Golden is not giving him anything. And Fnatic walking up towards his A site. Rops has got to do it all. JW going up the balcony. That's a kill, but it's not a gun to be retrieved. Rops might call for help. Frozen can at least consider it for the time being, but Fnatic, they should get the bomb plant down, and that's where things get impossible.
Yeah, this should be an undoable situation for Mouse. You can see Frozen's not even attempting this one. He's just trying to hold on to all that equipment he's got over towards the B-bomb site. Rops, he would love to get away. There's no exception. He sniffed out the low HP Woxic, and has even spotted another man over towards Long.
That grenade, that just blew the gun away. Chris was trying to pick it up on Long, but now he hasn't got anything to play with, including a face. Brolin checking, and Fnatic have a 5-on-3. This is almost impossible for Mousesports. That's another bit of info. And Brolin takes away Karrigan. This guy is so heads up. He's so talented. Fnatic, 5-on-2. And Rops, he's waiting in the apartments. Frozen is a long way away. Likely going to be seeing him save this Krieg onto the next round as well, unless he starts to move proactively down Banana. He's taking a peek, he's taking a look, but Golden is not giving him anything. And Fnatic walking up towards his A site. Rops has got to do it all. JW going up the balcony. That's a kill, but it's not a gun to be retrieved. Rops might call for help. Frozen can at least consider it for the time being, but Fnatic, they should get the bomb plant down, and that's where things get impossible.
Yeah, this should be an undoable situation for Mouse. You can see Frozen's not even attempting this one. He's just trying to hold on to all that equipment he's got over towards the B-bomb site. Rops, he would love to get away with a rifle. Regardless, this 8th round is looming and is going to find itself on the board for Fnatic. And it is just Brolin in every one of these rounds. It's a name that we've said all too much, it feels like, but he's been so damn good in these openers, in the closes, wherever you've needed him, he's been there.
And that's kind of nice as well, right? Because yesterday versus Na'Vi, he had a bit of a rough series. I mean, in comparison to how he's been playing, right? Obviously, Na'Vi, a very tricky team to fight against.
2 players actually died of the bomb for Fnatic. Now, not the end of the world. They're all approaching max cash, so they can definitely afford the extra investment.
One of them definitely knew they were going to die because they were low, and I think it's a realization for Fnatic that, okay, it doesn't matter. We've got enough money for the end of the game, or the end of the half, rather, and we would rather not walk away from the bomb site and give guns to Mousesports. You know, Rops only has a Deagle. Giving 2 Kriegs away can really result in you losing a round. So Fnatic making sure every box is checked. Oh, that's another pick, another advantage. Fnatic keeping up appearances on this T side. They've been so good at getting this first kill. And this might just lead them to yet another round on the T side. Oh dear, Brolin finding Rops through the corner, and it's just getting worse and worse by the second for Mousesports. Karrigan, he needs to take matters into his own hands, but that smoke is down and information is denied. Fnatic speeding up the pace towards his A site.
Yeah, they put a stop to Brolin. That right there is the spearhead of Fnatic removed. Now it's just a stick, and it's slowed right down. They've gotten out into top mid. Frozen on this rotation. Mousesports taking the gamble, rotating everybody towards this A side of the map. And this clash might go down over in top mid. Frozen, first man in, is stuck on the retreat there, but it's only JW left. 4 points of health, and Woxic makes quick work of it. The recovery is in from Mousesports, headed by Frozen and finished by the Turkish AWP.
That's a 5-on-3 as well, Harry. We've had so many of these man disadvantage situations be won by the team with less players, and Mousesports will now finally going to be added to that list as well. Salvaging one round at the end of the half. They've got a chance to 7-8 this one, and that would be decent. We know Fnatic's stronger side is the T side, so while this scoreline may have looked dire at least a few years ago in the current state of Counter-Strike, this is to be expected really at this point. Mousesports, what can they do in the final round of the half? Brolin waiting, and oh my, JW, that is so quick! Woxic doesn't even get a chance to react. He never sees JW. And again, Harry, I've said it so many times, but Fnatic, 5-on-4.
Oh dear, and Chris J's just moved into position to keep an eye on Boiler, but Brolin, he's straight up bypassed this short hold. Now, Chris J will be given another chance here. He sees the shadow, and it's from the shadows that he gets struck down. Crims now out from the balcony, opening the A-bomb site. Brolin as well, the man who had gotten up through long earlier on, has dropped all this utility, and that's going to keep Frozen away. Brolin actually looking to hunt this last man, looking to find him to end the half. Doesn't want to give Frozen a chance to even get the ball rolling in this retake. Frozen's had to wait for the smoke. That in and of itself has wasted so much time off the clock for Mousesports. This clutch should be impossible. There should be absolutely no way that this man gets back into this. Not with Brolin here, and that is the case. Fnatic, they'll lock in that way back into this second half. Let's find out if they can here and now. Pistol round beginning. Chris J, Carrigan, donning the utility. Fnatic, a very interesting investment as they throw that CZ into the hands of Brolin. Golden with the smoking kit, and Flusher waiting with a grenade. Fnatic, they've been very, very keen on buying up this nade utility in these pistol rounds to try and get that early damage off. You can see Flusher waiting with that HE over in Boiler, but he's not going to get a chance to use it, at least not with how this round is looking. Mousesports slowly but surely clearing this banana side of the map. And if they go to B, this would be the perfect call to make. Golden is here alone. He does have that smoke. He can use that to keep Mousesports at bay and buy some time for rotations. And he's going to need to. They're on their way now. Fnatic, the cavalry, is already on its way in. Golden has just got to buy some time for them to work with. Instead, he's trying to play around the smoke. He has to just give up the bomb site. He has to concede this one. And it's going to be a 5v5 retake to decide how this second half starts to shape up.
Yeah, deep grenade for Flusher, considers it towards the coffins, but Mousesports have gone for a very open plant. That kind of leaves Rops out in the open, hung out to dry and banana with no one coming in on the retake. JW, first contact, can't find a kill. Golden does though, Frozen's dead, and speeding up inside of the site. Fnatic moving numbers in from the ruins. Woxic, he's done damage, but he's going to get his head ripped off, and Chris J at the back of Dark with the crossfire from CT. It's perfect. Chris finding everyone. Carrigan joins a tally as well, and that's Mousesports finding the pistol round in the second half.
And there we go, finally something to cheer about for Mousesports. They get that one locked in. Fnatic gonna be scratching their heads as to how that one falls against them. Some great shots from Chris J here over towards Emo. And him starting to warm up, starting to get into this game, makes it that much more exciting. He is one of the 3 players on this Mousesports squad in line to potentially pick up that MVP from this event. JW looking down mid with the scout, trying to get away with some early chip damage. And there is a man there just jiggling on the angle, but he's not going to get given anything. Not right now. Mousesports. They've both been the team dealing and receiving success on the back of these 4-sport pistols in the second, so they are being so careful against this investment from Fnatic. Leaving no stone unturned as they grab top banana control. They've done it pretty speedily. This is going to make this smoke purchase from Fnatic a little bit harder to find success with. They're going for the smoke delay play. They want to try and keep Mousesports out of these bomb sites and hold on to these smokes for as long as you can. The problem with that is Mousesports, they go running right through it. They're already through the smoke wall over here at B, and now Mousesports in this side of the map gonna be able to get this bomb down.
Another 5-on-5 retake, Harry, I guess. And yeah, the SMGs are a really good idea. Not only does it allow Mousesports to bypass the smokes, but also if Fnatic happen to win this round, they don't pick up any useful guns. There's no Kriegs, there's no AKs. So Mousesports, The risk reward is there, and right now it is paying off. Fnatic might even consider going for the save here if kills don't start presenting themselves. They are getting re-smoked and re-smoked out of this round, and I think that is setting in as well. Fnatic beginning to fall back out of this position. And that's a great conversion for Mousesports. Obviously, they've still got one more force spike to deal with Fnatic coming in with the same guns in round number 3.5. But Flush has at least found an exit. He's at least going to try and make it costly, but nothing past that. 9 players surviving in this one. Mousesports nipping at the heels of Fnatic. 1 round separates the 2 teams.
That is such a weird round of Counter-Strike to play out in that fashion. It's really not every day that you see that full 5-man save attempted on either side of the board. Now, obviously, Fnatic, they are able to keep everybody up. They're still going to have that one scavenged SMG, the scout on JW, the armor for everyone else. And so they've still got a chance to do damage here. I like that decision from the Fnatic boys. JW this time wasn't able to get damage with this scout in the previous, but this time it's all different. Woxic has been tagged up. Mousesports, they were able to navigate the force once. Can they do it again?
Oh, Flusher wanted to flash these players back in to regain some banana control, but Mousesports are only just moving into position. Carrigan might get caught here. He's got a nade out, he's blind, and the SMG's in his face. Frozen has to keep this one going for Mousesports, and he does. 2 kills from the young player as Mousesports sit a man up in this round. Fnatic's force by saved. Might not be saved as Mousesports ditched the banana going back towards this mid position. Fnatic was still 2 players on the A side of the map. JW up on long, Crims in the apartments. And Mousesports replicating these slow mid rounds from Fnatic, absolutely in no rush to get out into the site. That smoke might force Crims forward. He knows there's a player now in the hallway, but Rops has dipped. If anything, if Crims gets aggressive, it might be perceived as a bit of a fake, and right now that rotation is coming through. JW moving back towards the B site. It has been silent since Mousesports got that kill up top banana, and now they're going to start to move the distance up towards A.
Yeah, Fnatic, they still seem like they're reading this as a fake. They're still anticipating that this is a ruse from Carrigan's boys on the Mousesports side. That could not be further from the truth. Now, Crims, he's been pretty quiet in this game, but usually he is the fire starter for Fnatic. He's going to try and do it all now from the apartments. Bomb goes down, and Crims not given any way of finding an opener here. There's so many low HP players. This Deagle could do a lot. It could do nothing. Crims, there's 2 outcomes, and it's looking like the latter. He's just going to back away. He just gives this one up. He concedes the round. Maybe he gets 1-man Woxic over in the apartments, but that's going to be it for Fnatic. They play this one safe.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry as well, because they're going to get away with guns here, and Fnatic going into what would typically be their first buy round. It's like, do you even want to keep these SMGs? Well, JW doesn't have a choice. He's gone down in the library. And yeah, I like this from Crims. But get these players low, make the bomb, take them down, and that's exactly what happens. Frozen actually survives in the back of the pit. It was a deep plant. 1 player dies from Mousesports, but remember, those were SMGs on 4 out of the 5 players. Not a worry at all. 9-9. Guns saved for Fnatic, and the buy coming in.
The thing I am worried about, the thing that does concern me a little bit, is that right now, Fnatic, sure, they're 9-9, but look at this kill distribution over on the Swedish team.
Wow.
Brolin, the young man, the new boy on the block, as it were, 21 kills. The next nearest on his team is Flusher and Golden with 9 to their name. And so on the T side, that's fine. You can have Brolin creating all this space, getting you openers, giving you opportunities, but Fnatic now moving into the CT half, this is where you need everyone to be stepping up evenly for the Swedes. You can't just rely on Brolin. And this round is another slow one, Fnatic. They're not a fan of this pace that Mousesports is setting. You can see it in their faces. They were hoping for a lot more early fights. They were hoping to force some engagements. Mouse just aren't giving anything up.
Yeah, just using this AWP, setting Woxic into position to find picks on mid, but even Fnatic have fallen back passive. Not contesting for this middle area. We have a double short side setup from the Swedes. Crims and Brolin, the top and bottom performers right now. And JW here as well. Molotov in the corner. Mousesports going to start to move up. And Crims, he has got to do it all on long. That molly is a bit of a problem for Chris. He's burning in the fire. Flash out mid. JW's gone big. But Rops is there with a trade. Crims is sprayed. Just missing Chris in the corner. But he might go back for more.
Oh, I think Chris J might have just overstayed his welcome here. He might have just done it as Crims backs off the angle. In the meantime, this bomb is on the back of Woxic. Alongside him is Frozen at this B bomb site. Golden is the lone defender right now. Shuts down the first, tries to duck himself away.
Oh dear.
Mouse, 15 seconds. Are they saving or are they going to attempt this one? It's going to be so close, and these kills have got to come in almost immediately. If Mouse want to go for this, you've got to get past Crims, and you've got to get past Brolin, and inside of the site, that's just not going to happen. They needed the kills immediately. Mouse leaving that one a little too close. They fall prey to the time,
no.
and oh dear, Woxic getting found after it's expired. That is going to throw this T-side economy into disarray. You really could have done without that if you're Mousesports. Let's bring in Chad Sponge Birchall. He wants to break this down a little bit for us.
One quick note from yesterday, guys, when Fnatic lost to Na'Vi, it was the B hold here of Flusher and Golden that was getting exploited. They had to rotate Crims over towards that B bomb site to start getting them some rounds on the board. So let's see if Mousesports want to go for a similar approach of just being methodical in Banana, using their utility, and then hitting this bomb site late. Because Fnatic, they will go do or die to maintain control of this part of the map. Let's see how Mousesports changes this one up.
Thank you very much, Chad. And yeah, I mean, questions being presented for Mousesports, but this is a bit of a precarious position to be in if you are on this Mousesports roster. That money being lost in the previous round, the AWP going down after time, and that is a pitch-perfect one for Fnatic. They won't even choose to save the AWP as well. So that's just how things are turning out right now for the Swedes. They're feeling confident in their rightful ability. Brolin, 23 kills, still star performance for Fnatic. Let's see if he can keep it up. It's an eco for Mousesports with a hero gun.
I've never seen a stat like this. Brolin has doubled the ADR of the next nearest man on his team. That is just incredible from such a young player. You can see why the whole world is so excited by Brolin, and let's see if he gets even more time to shine. That Molotov holds back Mousesports for the time being, but you bet they want to go through it. The smokes have gone in, they block off Moto, but there's no one for Fnatic over towards Long. They've actually now decided to wrap on the back of discovering this themselves. Carrigan gets the info, but he's not ready for Flusher, who is one step ahead on the rotation back through Speedway. Now that they've seen him, they're anticipating, well, this is one of the B players. We've still got a man over in CT. We've still got Woxic there. So we can rotate back ground, and hopefully we find ourselves going in to a slightly weaker B bomb site hold. But with this CT flank getting spotted, Flusher now trying to keep an eye on the back line, actually just decides against it. He knows that holding where this bomb is coming from, where the bulk of this push resides for Mouse, is more important. And he's going to have Golden with him. Boost on up. Chris J already strikes one from the tally. Chris has opened up the B-bomb site, and for now, for now, it belongs to Mousesports.
And so much info. Woxic's still in CT spawn. He can call that no one's coming here for Fnatic. Mousesports can set up knowing that there are 3 CTs all in the banana, and Fnatic are not being quite about it. Flashes up the top of B, and here come the cavalry. Fnatic, a man down, but Mousesports not armed for this fight. Frozen's got a deagle, looking to pick off players from range. Chris is in such a good position. This might be discounted. This might not be checked for Fnatic. They have to be very, very aware. And Crims is, he gets that kill. Now the retake's on as Fnatic get closer and closer. Rops, another kill from CT, and he's going to go back towards the ruins. Just play that bomb. Fnatic tapping it, but Rops has got another kill, and it's just JW. They know he's not on the defuse. Frozen goes through, and Rops will trade to save the day. That's an eco win for Mousesports. Carrigan had a Glock, for Christ's sake, and it won't stop these T's from getting on the board.
That little impromptu boost that they threw Chris J up and over to gives them so many good results over towards B. And so finally, Mouse could look at this and see that some things are actually going their way on this side of the map as well. Now, Fnatic, still with some cash, they're still going to be looking good into this round, but this one becomes such an important one for either one of these teams. You know, neither has really had the chance to build up too much of a bank account, and so this can feel like a bit of a 2-for-1. If you pick this up, you can be throwing your opposition onto an eco, and at this stage in the game, that can make all the difference. What's the response from Fnatic? How do they want to play into this one? That AWP is in the hands of JW, but he's not trying anything aggressive in this round. Both teams just holding, hoping that the other one gets a little bit bored with the tedium and tries to take this first bit of information. Golden just might offer that up over here at B.
Fnatic re-smoke the top of Banana as well. They throw that over from the wall just to give the idea that they're retaking control. Now, they haven't, but Mousesports are going to have to be very careful around the sandbags when they clear back out towards B. That's if they go back, and you would imagine they would right now with the bomb sitting at the bottom of ramp. Karrigan flashed into middle here, trying to keep Fnatic on this side of the map. You don't want them to over-rotate towards that B site that Mousesports look to execute upon. As Chad said, Mousesports, they love abusing this B site. And they're going to go back to it. 35 seconds. Karrigan's still selling this fake. He's out of utility. He can look to make a hero play. The issue is JW's on the other side of that smoke. 30 seconds, and Mousesports wait for no one. They're going right in. Golden can't get anything done on the boost. Karrigan's dead on A with both entries into B for Mousesports. It's perfect. The bomb plant allowed, and Woxic's already come all the way back down Banana. Fnatic might not expect this position.
Oh, Woxic could end this whole round here and now, but instead, it's given Fnatic an avenue back in. They're spurred on by this 3-on-3. They want to give it a go, and now they've got Frozen, Chris J, and Rops to try and get past. Half the time is ticked off of this bomb. Molotov could seal their fate. Fnatic, if they're going to go, they've got to go through it, and they're not going to. They give this one up. Mousesports on the back of the utility. They'll get an 11th round. They hold that B-bomb site, and they deter from that Fnatic from ever even attempting that retake.
Yeah, we know Fnatic's T-side was good on this map, but right now, Mousesports are one-upping it on a huge level. Round after round, only one to Fnatic in this entire half so far. The money has not been favorable, but when you start saving in 3v3s, that's when you know things are getting rough. Fnatic realizing that maybe they will have better chance in the follow-up round if they hold on to those guns and come in for a full rifle round and be put down to pistols. That's a fair call from Fnatic, but it still means that there's a lot of pressure on them in this follow-up round. They need to do something. They can't afford to let Mousesports build on this T-side lead. Sitting one ahead. Rops on an SMG. We might see a faster approach here from Mousesports. Maybe just going quickly through those apartments. Golden, he's moved down Banana. Fnatic have used their utility to take some real estate into their own hands, and Mousesports are just going to opt to give it up. They have no interest. Back towards middle. Rops ready to be flashed out the apartments. Will Brolin be ready?
He's going to have to be, and he often is. Brolin on the angle, first man in is Rops. Brolin spraying, trying to drop the Molotov, but no, he's helped out by Crims. It gets a bit messy, and no one's been able to trade for this man down in the pit, and this is where this crossfire between Crims and Brolin can really look to come into its own. That Moto smoke, there's a timer on it as well for Mouse. Do they even want to commit to this? That utility is starting to wear off, and so as more players from Fnatic have come rotating in, Mouse have just had to grind to a halt. They try and smoke Crims out from the bomb site, but Brolin still the threat down in pit. Reposition, that Molotov forces him out into the prying eyes of Karrigan, and now Crims and Flusher, two of the OG boys from Fnatic. Uh-oh, Golden's been spotted. Golden's been seen trying to come in on this flank, and he's gotten a little bit ahead of himself, perhaps, as Woxic deals with him, and that bomb now has got a free pathway into B. Chris J is still trying to sell the A play. Woxic's looking a bit indecisive, and is now going to try reposition, rejoin Chris J at the A side of the map. Mousesports, they'll get this bomb planted, and Flusher realizes he's made the wrong decision, he's made the wrong call. This man is not known for making mistakes. And now he finds himself all alone in the 1v2, walking in to the unknown at this A side of the map. Flusher, usually so cool in these situations, but the pressure is mounting now. Mouse not giving anything to Flusher to work with, and this should be a Mousesports round. This crossfire should have this dead to rights, and Flusher knows it with nothing presenting itself. All he can do is save. Mousesports, they're going to get a 12. They keep building upon this lead. Fnatic, time is running out if they want to turn this one back in their favor.
I love that call from Karrigan. The second they spot Golden coming down the Banana, that's info immediately for Mousesports. They know two things. One, B is open, and two, A is stacked. So they run right back. Karrigan gets killed, but Woxic trades, and Golden, his last view is seeing that bomb run towards Banana. Flusher has to rotate towards B. Crims, who's been having a rough game, can't hold his own on the A site in a 2-on-2. Caught reloading by Chris coming through the balcony, and Mousesports, they fake Fnatic completely in that 2v2. back into the A site, back on the board, and Fnatic's save now coming into that 3-on-3 retake in the round prior on the B site has now gone against them. They have no more money. That save gun for Flusher and pistols around it, but Mousesports are building and building on this T side. 6 rounds in the second half to the only one of Fnatic. That being said, don't count them out of these rounds, Harry. That's exactly what Mousesports can't afford to do either. Fnatic still have a chance with the pistols, but it's not looking great right now.
No, it's really not. And, you know, this Fnatic CT side has really not lived up to the hype either. They've managed to get 1 round thus far. We need to see more from it. Mousesports, they're the team that are going to capitalize on every little mistake they feel you making. Golden's got aggressive down through Banana. He's going to be available very, very fast on this flank should he choose to come in. He tried it just a round ago, so why not in this one? Mousesports, they've got to constantly bear that flank in mind. Golden actually gives it up and now falls back to the top of Banana. Mousesports, they've been given a foothold here in top mid. They've used the utility to get Fnatic off the angle. And right now, the entirety of this map just feels like it belongs to Mouse. That sure, they don't have Banana control, but they've got players keeping an eye on it. This is by design. As they try and take top mid, they've smoked off the long position. That leaves this AK on Flusher out of the round. They're here. All the pieces of the puzzle are in place. All that's left is to assemble it for Mousesports.
And they may not. They may go back towards B. You can see them keeping their eyes pried towards that Banana, making sure there's no one pushed here for Fnatic and Golden. He's scared. He's fallen back. Karrigan, he's gone forward. Crim's trading. Rops has found 1. JW still in the pit and hasn't been ascertained for Mousesports, and he's got a crossfire for Crims. This is what won Mousesports their second round on the CT side. This exact setup, and JW might be able to do it on his own. He's found 1. Woxic getting that trade on 4 points of health and 15 seconds left for Golden. He can risk going through this smoke if he wants, try and get ahead of the play, but Mousesports have found the plant and they're watching that smoke. Element of surprise has now gone out the window for Golden. He just has to win 2 fights, but you know the second one player dies from Mousesports, he's going to get swung on immediately. Golden needs to go above and beyond. Sneaking in, and Frozen's just going to peek him wide. Mousesports, 13 rounds. They deal with the pistols, they deal with that A-site stack for 4 players for Fnatic. And now another rifle round coming through for the Swedes, but they are running out of opportunities.
And you could just see that signature kind of Danish level of organization into this international squad really coming into its own in those 2v1s. They give no chance to Golden. They give no opportunity for him to even get into that round.
Oh dear.
This one, Karrigan, fast play up towards top Banana, and he just might tear this one from the hands of Fnatic. That first kill picked up so quickly, it goes untraded. There's no chance for Fnatic. They've been used to this slow game from Mouse all map long, and finally they pick the pace up. It completely blindsides the Swedes. And they've been struggling enough in the 5-on-5s, let alone a 4v5. They lose Flusher. They've had to commit an extra man towards this side of the map as a result. And so now for Mouse, they know the ramifications this is going to have. They know the impact this is going to have on this setup for Fnatic. They bow out of Banana and they're going to look for success elsewhere on the map.
JW has to nail his shots here. He's got that AWP and it's been a long time coming for Fnatic. The money finally there and the shot going to miss. He's blinded. Molly on the corner keeps Mousesports in position. That bomb's still not rushing. Smoke deep as well towards the library. Mousesports want to move up on this long position, and JW, he's gone back towards the pit, looking for this cart fight towards short. 30 seconds, Mousesports have not got a lot of time here, but that flash is fantastic. JW constantly missing these timings. Karrigan, he's found one of his own. He's made an opportunity happen. Back to the CT spawn. JW gets aggressive, but trade is imminent. Nothing he can do about it. And Karrigan caught by Brolin on that rotation. Big play from Brolin. He's the only man here, and now he's gone. Those rotates are needed for Fnatic, but they might not even be considered. Mousesports, 10 seconds left, and the bomb plant at the back of the site. Crims and Golden looking to make this work for Fnatic, but surely this is too much to ask.
Surely. Frozen over in Boiler. Crims is looking for him. Fnatic, it's not a call they want to make. They don't want to have to save, but that might be the only decision they're given by Mousesports. Golden's got to tuck tail and run. And Mouse, a 14th round since getting onto this T side. They've given 1 round to Fnatic, and that is it. And that's set to continue. Golden is just running for the hills. This has been monumental from Mouse and lackluster from the rest of Fnatic. We need to see more. We need to see these big performances from guys like Crims, like Flusher, these big clutch moments that we saw all tournament long, because right now, if it's not Brolin, it's not anyone for the Fnatic squad.
Yeah, and this is Fnatic's pick in the series as well. Obviously, it's a best of 5, right? So you have that breathing room, you have maps to fall back on. But Fnatic, they've been so damn good on Inferno all tournament long. And right now, it might just be swept from under their feet. Quick tactical pause for Fnatic before they get back into what could be the last couple of rifle rounds on this CT side. And I say rifle rounds, Harry, but I really don't mean it. The money isn't there for Fnatic, and they know it as well. You've got to make that rough decision. Do we play for overtime, or do we buy here and now and potentially just lose 2 forces? Fnatic deciding to go in the middle of those 2 options, taking an eco, a half buy, pistols and armor. But even these rounds haven't been successful, and that's not typical of Fnatic. They're so good at finding rounds when they really shouldn't. And right now, they've only got 1 to their name in the second half.
Now, more than ever, we need to see vintage Fnatic in the server. Mousesports might be about to change the pace. They flash, they smoke, they nade their way up into top mid. They're already down long. Crims, is he ready for the sheer pace? He's on the angle, and oh, the CZ gets them both. He's looking for a little bit more. Rops, Woxic, done what they can. Missed shot there from Woxic, but Flusher caught out in the open, and this is chaos. This is so back and forth. Bomb plant about to come in. Now Sports deal with the man at long, and now it's only Golden left to try and deny. Map point to Mouse, a 1v2, now a 1v1 to find. Woxic on the other side, given a bit of time. That bomb still to go down. Mousesports, they denied that plant. The pressure mounting here. Woxic looking for this fight. Looking for Golden. Not wasting any time with the bomb plant. Goes to check short. Golden. Whoa, so close to getting spotted here. Jiggle peeks the angle, gets the information, and now they know. Bomb plant coming in for Woxic. Smoke is down. The golden boy of Fnatic looking to keep their heads above water, looking to keep them in this. But now it's him on the clock, and Woxic is repositioned off into the apartments. If there's one thing this man is, it is fast. Golden's not being given anything. He's hoping that Woxic's still here, but he's not. He's up and left this bomb site. Golden, what choices do you even have? Throws a smoke on the bomb, knows that Woxic's up in the apartments, the 10-second defuse, and he's on it. Woxic, oh dear, now's not the time for style, now's the time for hitting shots. Ah, he's sticking the 10 seconds, he's sticking the 10 seconds, he's gonna get it. Golden, balls of steel, up on the stage, an 11th round for Fnatic. A messy round for either side. I don't even know if I should be feeling happy about that one.
Yeah, the patience for Golden is ridiculous, right? Just sat around on long all round, and to have the balls to go over the 10-second stick as well is ridiculous. Oh dear, that is not the round Mousesports want to lose, and that could invigorate Fnatic. That could get them back in position here on the CT side. We'll have to wait and see, but boy, oh boy, what a clutch. Fnatic needed that, man. Like you said, it's been Brolin or it's been nothing. Well, finally, someone else on this Swedish lineup stepping up in the clutch. A 1-on-2 for Golden that has kept Fnatic in this first map. That would have been then broken. Well, now they've pieced themselves back together. Mousesports, 3 players towards Banana. Chris is spamming apartments for Rops to set up in position. There's no one here, luckily enough, for Fnatic. They've just got a crossfire in middle. Flush has got this AWP on B. This is something that we saw as well a couple of days ago for Fnatic, taking it over JW, who hasn't been having the best of times. That's a tag. That's something. The grenade missing Karrigan, though, to finish off the job. Golden flashing a repeat for Flusher, but not keen to go for it. These smokes are coming down now for Mousesports. They're looking to commit. Flusher, he's going to have to deal with this. Karrigan's actually in the CT spawn. He's smoked off deep. He won't let Fnatic come in for this retake. And now Mousesports can just wait and see, wait and play around Karrigan. He's got to kill JW in the gap in the smoke. Flusher's got to turn around, and that gives room for Mousesports to move in, but they've lost their man behind enemy lines.
There's still two
Look at the
players
bomb.
here. The bomb's leaving. The bomb's up and out, mate. It's left the B bomb site. It wants nothing to do with it. They've left Frozen here to try and do what he can, and he's shrunk on down, shrunk into the ground. Meanwhile, Rops is stood taller than ever over towards the A bomb site. Sure, they deal with Frozen. Sure, they get it back now into their advantage, but the bomb plant still found for Mouse. Woxic, he's looking to try and make up for his mistakes in the round prior, and now this time he's got Chris J alongside him. Fnatic once again thrown into this retake. Brolin looking to be the first man in, trying to secure this opener for Fnatic, but he is not ready for Chris J. Woxic off the angle, gives a bit of room, but Fnatic, they're running out of time, and time is the least of their worries. Golden, sure he gets one, but there's no defuse today. He runs, and he runs for the hills. Map point for Mousesports, 15-11. As they close out that 2-on-3.
Oh, they even lose everyone to the bomb as well. But Golden, you would have believed it, Harry. 1-on-2. He did it in the previous round in the same situation, but not fancying his chances, not fancying his options. What a fake for Mousesports as well. I don't think that was even the game plan coming into it. They had no one on that A site. That was just a mid-round decision by Karrigan. He knew he'd forced rotations. He knew that Fnatic had sent players through that CT spawn after he gets traded from killing JW. Doing the math there, that's 4 players on B for Fnatic, and Mousesports are just going to double back into the MTA site. Masterful call from Finn. And 15 rounds on Fnatic's map pick, the first of potentially 5 here in this series. And boy, oh boy, do we want to go the distance. Mousesports, however, they want to make quick work of the opposition, and they just might on this first.
Yeah, Mouse showing that they're unfazed by that 10-second stick in the round just before last. And that was, a big question mark, right? As we've seen with these Karrigan-led teams, is sometimes they do get into their heads a bit when things like that start to go against them. But this time, they're wasting absolutely no time. It's showing their dominance once again in the server. Now, 5 kills, all that separates them from getting Fnatic's map pick under their belt. Brolin's going to try and set Crims up. The flashbang is perfect from Brolin, and now Karrigan dropped. He's got to try and lead his motley crew from beyond the grave. 4 players still in the server. The mastermind, the puppet master, pulling the strings. They've decided to go for an A play. Crims wrapping background, always a nuisance with this SMG. Might disrupt this play at long. Brolin bested down in the pit, and this A bomb site crumbling around Fnatic. JW's bought low. He's forced out. He doesn't get to have a say in whether or not this bomb goes down. And a double AWP in the retake for Fnatic. To say it's less than ideal is the understatement of the century right now. Bomb plant coming in, man advantage for Mouse. Fnatic, surely there is no way back into this round.
That smoke as well, that's just salt in the wound. Insult to injury here for Fnatic. That choke point turned into a wall, and Golden, he's going to have to break it down. He's got to smoke to at least give him a bit of room to maneuver coming back into this site, but you were already getting desperate if you're Fnatic. That's a kill, but it's traded. Rops coming in big, and Woxic covering from the balcony as well. It's done. It's the first map over and completed by Mousesports. 6